Hello, everyone, and welcome into Senior Living Live. My name is Melissa, and I am joined alongside Laura Ellen Christian today. Laura Ellen, how are you?
Hey, Melissa, I am great. Today was the first day back of school for my boys. So that was really exciting. They're able to go back in person and they were really excited to go back, see their teachers and friends. So it's been a good day for us.
Oh, that's amazing. That's wonderful. Well, right now, I think that maybe even with your family, even today, but many people over the last 6 months have had the conversation or have discussed the topic of health and wellness. How can I boost my immune system to prevent getting sick, to prevent getting COVID-19 or the flu or the common cold? I have personally taken steps to ensure I'm getting all of my vitamins that I'm deficient in. I'm eating a little bit cleaner here over the last couple of months and working out several days a week. What are some ways that you and your family have sort of tackled health and wellness recently?
Yeah. Well, we're the same as you, just trying to kind of keep what's normal in our life, but plus it up a little bit, right? So we're big like elderberry and probiotic people, so definitely keeping that up for us and also our children. We started doing a garden a year ago, so we kept that up, which has really encouraged and motivated us to eat healthier and stay active, right? So getting outside, working in the garden with our boys, watering it, things like that. So that's all been super fun, and also keeping up our exercise routine. We've had to think outside of the box. We were members of gyms, so as some of that wasn't available, going outside, taking walks with our boys. We got our canoe out, dusted it off, and taking it out on the lake. So all of those have been fun ways that we've been trying to stay healthy.
Yeah, I've been trying to take on exercise routines that don't need weights because, as you mentioned, I mean, who's really going to a gym nowadays? It's something you have to consider. But on your end, in what you said about creating your own garden, what have you been able to harvest here recently?
Yeah, so we had good luck with bell peppers, green and red bell peppers. We also tried new planting Brussels sprouts, which was really interesting. We actually harvested some of those. I wasn't sure if they were going to actually sprout or not. So that's been great. And of course, tomatoes, lots and lots of tomatoes. And we also, Melissa, have a peach tree, and that produced really well this year. Yeah, so we were excited about that. Picked a lot of peaches and peeled a lot of peaches.
Hmm. I've been going to the grocery store to get all of my vegetables. I think I just need to come to your office and just go pick some up. You sound like
Yeah,
you've done an awesome job.
yeah. Come on over. We've got plenty.
I'll take some, especially the peaches. So, you and I are actually very fortunate that we can tap into a wealth of knowledge and experience with all the seniors that we come into contact with on a daily and weekly basis. What are some ways that the communities are helping our seniors stay healthy at a time when they're really not able to go about their normal routines?
Yeah. Well, I think it's the same as you and me, Melissa. Our teams and our communities have really been thinking about the people, our residents, who they are, what they like to do, and being really creative to make sure that those things that are really important to them, especially connected to their health and wellness, that we can still provide those as much as possible. So folks, of course, have been doing, hallway exercises, definitely helping our residents take walks, get out in the fresh air, enjoy the nature. I was talking to a resident the other week, and that was something that really was important to her, and she loved, is just going outside and connecting with nature while she's getting some exercise, walking around our community campus. So those are some ways that we've really been able to connect in. We also, as a company, did a well-being survey recently that we integrated into one of our systems that we use to plan our activities and events, and help with attendance tracking and things like that. So we added in a well-being assessment, and several communities piloted that for us. And what that told us, Melissa, was for the residents that completed it, they told us that for health and wellness, what they were missing were fun, ways to exercise. So the fun aspect. So what I've really enjoyed is after hearing that and knowing that, one of our communities started a pop-up exercise. So residents didn't know, where the exercise was going to be, if they're able to use some of their common spaces, or maybe what the exercise routine was going to be. So it kind of added that element of fun and surprise for folks. So I think those have been, some ways that people have tried to really stay connected to residents, listening to them, what's important to them, what are they missing, and then trying to be really creative within our means and resources and abilities of what we're able to provide for them.
Yeah, and I've just been so impressive with what you and your team has been able to do. I mean, it's just even listening to this, it's another way that you're thinking outside of the box. We're all in this together, right? In COVID together, and in dealing with this social distancing, and you really have to think outside of the box in order to sort of regain those daily routines, and then keep people active and help them stay active and healthy, which is, of course, our topic today. So kudos to all of you for constantly moving the goalpost and coming up with new ways to keep our seniors active. That is fantastic. And that turns into the other part of our conversation, and that is where we want to introduce you to a special guest that I know you're excited to hear from today, who is going to give us some advice and some of her top tips on health and wellness. And so our special guest, her name is Betty. Her husband's name is John. What makes them so special?
Yeah, I think for this couple, what makes them so special is their commitment to one another. They have had and enjoyed a long marriage, which is so fantastic and encouraging to see. And also their commitment to remaining active and remaining healthy. And what's so great about Betty and John is their foresight and forethought of how to do that and where they are in their life. So they're both in their 90s, and they made the decision to move to an independent living community so they could keep that commitment to stay active and to stay healthy, and do that in an environment that promotes that and encourages that, so they can enjoy that for as long as they can.
Yeah, and she did not misspeak if you were hearing that. They are in their 90s in independent living and are still very active today. And if you've ever wanted some tips from somebody who's actually talking the talk and walking the walk, if you will, you'll want to grab a pen and some paper. We have got some special tips, some simple tips from Betty, who is an excellent source of this information. Betty Cash is joining me now. Betty, it is good to see you. How are you today?
Fine, thank you.
Yeah. So I understand you and your husband, John, are both nonagenarians, and that is a term, of course, used to describe people between the ages of 90 and 99. You're both in your 90s. Tell me how you decided from a health and wellness perspective to live your lives.
Well, we didn't really make that decision, but just, I guess, our parents maybe had a part in that. They were active, and we just had family and just did gardening and walking and cleaning and vacationing occasionally, and that was it.
Now, you have quite a few sons, and I think that helped out a little bit, didn't it?
Yes, it did. They kept me active.
You had how many sons? How many sons did you have?
We had 5 boys.
5 boys. And I assume they were pretty active as well, yes?
Oh, yes.
So that certainly helped to keep you active. And you and your husband, John, are great ambassadors for health and wellness at the community you live in, Arbor Terrace, Peachtree City. What are some secrets and tips that maybe you share with friends, neighbors, and staff there at the community?
Well, we just visit with them, and then if we have a conversation or they ask us something, we try to answer it. I can't think of anything specific now, but that's what we try to do.
Well, I would be there asking and jotting down notes, which is why we're interviewing you today, to figure out how you live such a healthy lifestyle. You are 90 and you said John is 96, correct?
That's right.
That is amazing. And you both require no assistance. That is really an incredible testament to the lifestyle that you both lead. If you had to pick one of your top secrets, Betty, to independent living in your 90s, what would it be?
Well, we a lot of luck there, and then we haven't. We've tried to stay healthy, eat healthy, and be active. We have our Christian faith, and that's about all I can think of right now.
Yeah. And you moved to that community about a year ago. Can you give us an example of a typical week for you and John as it relates to food, exercising, and how the community has complemented your choices?
Well, the activities are well planned, and we have a schedule that we go by every day, and we try to take advantage of everything that we enjoy, and try to new things at some times, and that's about it.
And what is your favorite activity there at the community?
We enjoy the exercise classes. We have strength training, and we have hallway exercises during the COVID times, and we enjoy those and participate most every day.
Yeah, and I also gather that you do a lot of things to keep your mind active, not just your body, it's your mind as well. What are some things you do on that end?
We read a lot. We enjoy reading. I specifically enjoy puzzles, crossword puzzles. I'm not very good at it anymore, but I keep working at it. And John enjoys reading.
That's great. Well, you mentioned John, a retired educator. You are a retired nurse, which I'm sure has come in handy over the years, maybe even now in the middle of this pandemic. What have you and John added or changed to your routines due to the coronavirus? And what tips can you give others that may be watching this to help them stay active during this time?
Yes. Well, again, we take advantage of everything that's offered as we can, and we are together. Those people who are alone, it makes it, I feel, makes it just a little bit hard for them, but they can also get out and as they feel able to and take advantage of what's offered.
Yeah, and Betty, as we were talking earlier, at any point in time during this last 6 months, have you and John maybe discussed or talked out loud about how your lives would look maybe if you were still living at home now as opposed to living in a community?
We've done that several times. We would have just been sort of feel trapped in our home because, we're just afraid to get out in the whole community, and we would have been very dependent on our sons, our families.
Yeah. And Betty, I have one last question, selfishly, for the beautiful skin you've got. Any skincare tricks you can tell me about?
Pond's cold cream.
Fantastic. I was hoping it would be something like that. Yes. Pond's cold cream. And I have used that since I was a little girl. I have used that. So I feel good now about that decision. Thank you so much. Betty, we certainly appreciate you sharing all of your excellent tips as you live well into your 90s. And we can all certainly learn something from your experience and John's experience. And we thank you for taking the time to remind people that it is never too late to take care of yourself. Betty, thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much. I enjoyed speaking with you.
Well, there it is. Pond's cold cream. Did you know about that, Laura Ellen?
I don't think I did, Melissa, but I know Betty shared that she has 5 boys. I have 2, so I am going out to get a jar today.
I will continue purchasing the Pond's cold cream. And I also like the other tips she gave. She enjoys her crossword puzzles. I think those are fantastic to keep the mind active. So I'll be grabbing one of those as well. So I'm already listening. I'm taking notes, and we'll make sure that I'm stocked up on all of those things. Well, Arbor is doing quite a bit still and doing a great job. And making sure residents have more opportunities to make healthy choices at this time, aren't they?
That's right. Yes, we've, like we mentioned, our teams have just been so creative and so dedicated to whatever it takes for our residents, always, but especially during this time. So it has been really great to see people really plus up their offerings for residents. So we have smoothie bars going, juice bars going, and ways to make those fun. Like, guess what the secret ingredient is? What do you think that's in here that you would never have eaten? So that's been really fun for residents, and then to learn about the benefits of maybe some of those foods that they can eat, and giving them opportunities to enjoy those. And one way they've done that to kind of add into that component is they have started to do farmers market carts. So those are fresh foods, fresh vegetables and fruits that they're able to provide for our residents door to door, so they can have those experiences of the farmers markets that we're all missing these days. So that's been really fun and creative and really beneficial for our residents.
Again, continuing to think outside the box. I love it so much. And, of course, for those of you watching, we want you to be a part of this conversation. As always, you can tell us some of the ways that you stay engaged through health and wellness, and you can do that by visiting your community's Facebook page. We challenge you to join us, give us your tips, and you can use the hashtag Stay Engaged. So great tips already here that you've learned from Betty, and a few things we learned from Laura Ellen today. I need to get to gardening apparently to create my own harvest. Laura Ellen, any final thoughts today?
Yeah, I would say, we are always looking for new ideas and new opportunities to incorporate health and wellness and just joy into the lives of our residents and our staff as well. So if you have an idea that you would like to see us incorporate or think about incorporating into our communities, please add those to your tips. We would really, really love to hear you and your creative ideas.
Fantastic. And they can certainly add that on the Facebook page. Again, use that hashtag Stay Engaged so we know who you are. Well, that is our show today. We thank you all, as always, for joining us. Feel free to check out all of our content on www.seniorlivinglive.com. For Betty and Laura Ellen, my name is Melissa. As always, everybody, have a great day.